What is going on, guys? We're back playing some more Surviving with Draconic Evolution. Today, guys, we're going to be setting up a wither skeleton farm. Now, this is a relatively large build, and I actually have never done it before, so I'm super excited to do it today, but it did take a lot of prep to actually set all this stuff up. If we look in the chest, there's not much crafting that we have to do, and we're really not going to be using any of the stuff that's on the left over here. That is for a mob grinder that eventually we'll set up, because it can one-shot a wither, but everything on the right side is what we should need to set up our wither skeleton farm today. It's not going to be a huge one, it'll be just enough to get us by, but the main idea of setting this up is because we need a ton of nether stars. If you don't know, Draconic Evolution requires a ton of those to kind of progress through it, and I did have to get one off camera last episode, and it took forever for me to do it, and then killing the wither was even more of a pain in the butt. I had to go all the way to the top of the nether and get its head stuck in some bedrock, but hopefully we will not have to worry about doing that stuff anymore. This should simplify it a lot and allow us to just AFK to get all of the wither skeletons that we need, and we'll just get a looting sword and kill them and get a bunch of heads, and we will be set. But as you can see, it is, there's a lot of stuff going on in here, including some fun TNT. I did have to AFK and use a bunch of the gunpowder drops to make the TNT, so it was lucky that I didn't really have to process any ores with my mechanism set up, but everything in here should be all that we need. Now, I did not come up with this setup. There's no way I would consider myself smart enough to come up with this, but it is going to be linked in the description, so if you want to see the original video, it is kind of long, and hopefully I'll be able to cut down on the length today if you want to see just like the key points of setting this up, but it is a great design, and it is actually, you can make it a lot larger than what I am going to make today, so if you guys do want a bigger, more, I guess, efficient way to set it up, then feel free to look in the description. So we're going to grab all this stuff out, and I'm actually probably going to have to put some things in here. We don't really need any of this. We don't really need a water bucket or that. We can grab this out. We got a lot of furnaces because we have to avoid things that stick to slime blocks, and luckily all of our building blocks are stuck in this basic bin. We're going to be using some chiseled cobblestone. Other than that, we've got some obsidian to work with, and we've got the TNT to kind of blow up the surrounding area and clear it out. Now, I am going to be doing a lot of cuts today to kind of cut down on all of the time that I spend just kind of setting stuff up, because there is a lot of boring work that needs to be done to set this up, including setting up all the TNT all over the nether to blow up all the things around us, like the nether fortress, stuff like that, but it should be all set for now, so we can come over here. I did actually patch up this wall, and I forgot why, and it turns out I did not have a nether portal for a significant chunk of time, and the reason behind that is when I was moving my digital miner around, because I started running out of like obsidian and stuff to get, and diamonds, I actually got rid of my portal in here, and so I had to remake it, and here we are. We should be good to go. Now, one thing that I have to be really cautious about is not dying, because obviously whenever you watch people set this up, they set it up in creative, and we are not in, creative right now. We can die. So, when we start trying to set this up, we're going to be attacked by blaze, wither, all that stuff, or not wither skeletons. But luckily, if you look at the map, you can see I really haven't done much exploring in here, but I do have the wither farm marked out, so we also have animations off. If you're wondering why that fire is like not moving, I have animations off, so hopefully it doesn't lag too much going over there. For some reason, whenever I load things in my mechanism world, it always lags really hard, but we're gonna make our way over there cautiously, trying not to die. I do have obsidian armor on, but that really doesn't do much for me in this case. So the main thing that we got to do is, we can light it up a little bit when we get up here, but break any of the blaze spawners that might be over there, because I do see a blaze, and it looks like that might be a spawner. So luckily we've got our disassembler. We're full right now. Okay. Hello, Mr. Blaze. I really haven't explored this nether fortress at all, but I don't know what is going on in here. Is there a spawner anywhere around here that we got to take care of? I don't think so. Nah. I don't really think, like, I don't know. Let's just like toss some lights down in here. If we can avoid those, that'd be ideal. We got a nice wither skelly right here. Got the one shot coming out. Okay, so the reason that I marked right here as a good place to set it up is because the first place you're going to want to look for when you set it up, and I'm just making sure there's nothing around here, it's going to be crossroads. Now, right here, we've got a nice set of crossroads that are right here. Ooh, that's a spawner right there. That is not what you want to see. That's what we weren't looking for. I don't want to get hit by this guy. No. Man, no head still. 2 kills and no head. What is that? I don't know how good our obsidian armor is to get up here and get this, but Let's go. Ah. Oh, I forgot that this thing's really OP. Okay, so we'll take care of those. So the main goal, like I was saying, is to set it up at a crossroads, and the main reason is because you're going to be making it 10 wide, and the crossroads kind of go, you have your center block, and then they go out 9 in each direction. This kind of screws it up right here, but it should be perfectly fine with it being 10 wide. Oh my gosh. How dare you, sir. But this is where we're going to be setting it up. It's not going to be the best spot. A better spot would probably be where there's a little bit more space in between these, but you can make it as long as you want, really. Let me check down here, actually. This might be a better spot. Right here, no, because this is a huge stairwell. Okay, so we're going to have to do some blowing stuff up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this out. We're going to mark out the center block in each one. So the center block should be right here, and we're going to get out our obsidian, and we're going to throw that down right there. And the main reason we're going to do this, actually, what is it down here? Let me just check down here just to be sure. Okay, guys, so we're just jumping back after I placed a little bit over a stack of TNT in here. Now, I did not optimize the distance. I didn't, calculate how many blocks and, each block breaking in between them. I didn't do all that, okay? We had enough to mess around with. It's not going to be a huge area that needs to be cleared out if we're only doing one layer. Of course, you could do up to 3 layers and, have no issue. But I'm lazy, so we're only doing 1 layer. And now it's time to set it off. So we're going to use a nice lever. Let's just pretend we're like the Wile E. Coyote. Okay, so I don't know how well this is going to work. There might be residual TNT left over that could blow us up, but let's hope it works out fine. So let's flip that, and let's just take a step back. It's going to take a little bit for this chain reaction to happen. Okay, it didn't make it all the way to the other TNT that I wanted, but this is actually a relatively good start. So, luckily we can fly, we can make our way over here, and we can turn on, it's just like, oh wait, that's really close to me. Well, that'll hit the rest of those. And done. Okay, well that's actually for the most part not the worst thing in the world. We cleared out a relatively decent space around there to there. Now the only issue becomes we've got a lot of entities around here that will need to despawn, which I will allow them to do. Along with that, we've got some lava that needs to be cleaned up. Okay, so I finished clearing out the area. We got rid of all the lava, or at least most of the lava that was falling from the ceiling. I cleared out a couple miscellaneous blocks the TNT didn't get. It's still kind of messy in here, but once we get this area set up, we're not really going to have to see this. I lit it up because a lot of the times when I'm in the nether, especially nether fortresses, it gets kind of dark in the videos, and you guys are not huge fans of not being able to see what's going on, which I really don't know why you would be, but so we lit it up, used up all my torches on that, and it's not really light enough in here yet, but it should be good enough for now. And then all I did was set up where everything's going to spawn. Now you can set up multiple layers of these. You can set it up, one above and one below, and do essentially the same thing that we're going to be doing here, except make it on a much bigger scale. But like I said, I'm kind of lazy, and this guy's looking at me the wrong way. Juke left, juke right, juke. Got him. But basically, I'm lazy, so we set it up like this, and now we should be good to start setting up the rest of the whole, wither farm. But we got through most of the boring stuff, so now comes some of the fun redstone stuff. Now what we're going to be using is furnaces. You can use really anything that is not going to be moved by a slime block, but there really aren't a ton of things that you can get a ton of. You can use, I guess obsidian, melons, furnaces. I don't really have much experience with slime blocks, so I'm just going to go with furnaces because I know that's a safe route to go. And we're going to take some netherrack. We're going to throw it down over here so we can start building up on this. And we're going to put a furnace there. And the way we construct this is a little annoying just to start. But once we set this up like so, it should be a lot easier. Of course, it kind of sucks that we have to hold down shift click the whole time. And it's going to flip me out that these are all going to be oriented in different directions. But essentially, you're going to set up a railing like this going along this side. So we're going to set them all up going along here. And I think I should have enough furnaces. The way I got these was essentially I took the atomic disassembler, set it on the highest mode, and you can just run down to a part of your mine that actually has just regular stone in it and just start spinning around while holding down, and you'll just destroy all of the different stone there. You'll get some ores with it, but the main goal is to just get as much stone as possible, and this should help some people get rid of their overflow of cobblestone if they have it. So we'll do this. I really didn't have an overflow after building the mechanism, like the mob farm we used for mechanism, but okay, yes, we made it to the end here. Now once we do this, hey, they're not actually that bad. Once we do this though, we're gonna extend it 5 in each direction just for the central block. So we'll go 1 there, and it'd be easier if I just come up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do that at the other end. So it looks like this room is actually just like the perfect size. We're going to get rid of this block up here. And we'll do this one out 5 too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to have to decide what side I actually want the redstone contraption to be on. Honestly, I think this side's a better option. So we'll go with this one just because that's going to be like my entrance and exit. So what we're going to do is we can take 2 stone slabs and we can throw them down up here. And we can take a redstone repeater, throw it down right there. Now, this really is what's important if you're going to be using multiple layers, because you're going to have to set up an elevator going up with redstone to set all of them to the same timer. But for me, it's actually perfectly fine to just use normal redstone here if I wanted to, but I'll put the repeater there just to make sure we reset everything. And the way we're going to do this is, oh, I forgot we got to shift click with the redstone. So we're going to bring the redstone down here, and we're going to run it all the way along. Now, it's a little bit annoying to run it down here because I have to shift click and hold. So I guess I could like speed up every once in a while and then shift click down. But we're going to be setting up a couple different areas at different intervals in here that are going to essentially reset the pulse. So we're going to come back here, and we're going to end up powering this, getting it going so we can see how far it stretches. Obviously, it should go 15, but it's a little bit easier if you just want to visualize it. So it should end right here. It's a little bit easier to see if you have particle effects on, but what we're going to do next is, I guess we can take it, we can give it a little bit of slack if we really wanted to, but we can do it right here. It doesn't really matter if you go back a couple blocks just to make sure you're getting the signal, but to make sure we're getting it, we'll throw down a repeater right there, and we can break this redstone right here now. And essentially what we're going to be doing is I'm going to take a different block than we're already using, so I'm using chiseled stone here instead of the cobblestone, but we're going to push it from this repeater into that, and I guess I can throw down a couple more of these stone slabs that we'll use eventually. We're going to push it into a block right here, and then we're going to take and fill out this stone slab area right here, and we need to break this block right here. So whatever block you're using there, you're going to break it. We're going to place down a redstone repeater right there with 1 tick delay, and we're going to place down a redstone repeater right here, and then we'll grab out some more of our redstone and fill in this area right here. So now we should be able to go again and do the same exact thing. Now it's pretty easy because we get pretty close to the end, but we're still going to set it up even though we're over here basically at the end. Now what we can do if we want it to be a little bit less annoying is just come back here and kind of reset it a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect in terms of how much we have, but we might as well, I guess we can set it up right. We'll set it up right here. So we'll put down this with we'll go out 2 more, and we're cutting it a little bit close with the wall here, but we should be fine. And we can put down, oh, you know what, we do need redstone right here if we're going to do this. We need to break this redstone, and we need to get out a repeater. We don't need those blaze rods on our hotbar, so redstone repeater right there. We actually don't need this stone slab. No! I thought we could save that one. Of course, it falls straight into the one of the very few holes that are here. But then we can do redstone repeater right here, and redstone repeater right there, and then connect it around like this. So this should be all good for this. Okay, so the next step in this whole process, once we've got that redstone portion set up, is to set up a pulse emitter at the end here. And a really easy way to do a compact version of that is to just use a comparator. So we can pull out our comparator and start setting it up down here. So what we're going to do is we can break this lever, and we can just put regular redstone there if we really wanted to. But we can put this like so, and we can just run the redstone like this. We can put down a comparator. We can change it into subtract mode, and then we should be able to throw down a lever right there and get a single pulse coming in there, and it should extend all the way down this. Now that is phenomenal. Just kidding. We actually really don't want that. But as long as it's not a ghast, it's okay. It's not going to blow anything up in here. But we should be having a pulse going all the way down to the end here. like so. Very important. So we should be all good. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we're going to want to cap the ends off here with something that can't actually be moved whenever the sticky pistons get to the end. So let's just say obsidian. You can use anything that pistons won't move, but we're going to be using obsidian. So we're going to throw it down right there, and we're going to throw it down over here on this end too. Obviously, we're going to have to place a random block down so we can put this down just because this one doesn't have all the redstone stuff going on at the very end. But we'll put down a regular block there, and then we'll put the obsidian down there. And what this will cause the pistons to do is to bounce back. And now we should be good to set up the kind of sweeper contraption that's going to go along here. So we can set it up anywhere. I'm going to turn this redstone off right here so that the pulse stops. And we can come down here and grab out our sticky pistons. Now I have way more than we actually need if we're just doing one layer. So we're going to put one down facing there, one down facing there. And then we're going to do the same thing right here. One there, one there. And then we're going to pull out our slime blocks. And I think I might need one more to cover this whole area. But we're going to put them down in between these two. And of course, this is going to be held by all the different, it's going to be held by the railing of things that can't actually be moved. So that's the whole purpose of that. And you're going to place them all down going across here. And yep, I need one more. So we might actually need a crafting table in here, which I don't have because slime blocks, if I recall correctly, need a full crafting table. Okay guys, so it actually turns out everything's working fine, it's working the way it's supposed to, but when I went to get this extra slime block, it actually wasn't necessary. I forgot that they can't actually push the 11, so the reason that we only want this to be 10 wide is because we need the sweeper to go across the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick this lever off up here so that this will stop wherever it is, and I'm just going to break these blocks right along here. So I'll probably put an annotation earlier on in the video for anyone that's trying to follow along with the video, just so that they don't get to this point too. I guess we'll just have to deal with the fact that our OCD will be bothered by this not being centered, but it's not like you're really going to see it that much, and if we really wanted to, we could break it. But just to make a point, I'm not going to break it. But yeah, that was my mistake. I thought we'd be smart and make it symmetrical, but that's not the case. But the basic thing is that right now, when we turn it on, these pistons are going to act like, essentially like motors, and they're going to move this chain of slime blocks around, and anything that gets caught in this is just going to get pushed along, and it's going to go, and it's going to get pushed to one side, and then it's going to go back, and it's going to just sweep along and catch everything along with it. The only problem is these aren't synchronized yet, and they really, the way that it's going to work eventually is these are going to stop at their own ends, and while one pushes it back, the other one will be stopped, and then that one will push it back, and then the other one will go, and it'll just keep going like that, so it goes straight from one side to the other. Now, the way that this actually gets set up is through a pretty interesting mechanism that was invented using the armor stand, so it is relatively important that you have that. Where is it in my inventory? Oh, it's right here. Okay, I was gonna say it seems to have disappeared in my inventory, but it's right here, and we're gonna push that onto a pressure plate, essentially. So the way we're going to be setting this up is coming over here, and we're going to be taking any block that we really want. So we'll take the chiseled stone block, and we're going to be going down. So I guess we got to come down here first. So we're going to be going down on a diagonal like so, and we're going to break this block right here and this block right here. So it's actually going on the diagonal, and then we're going to get out a redstone torch, and we're going to put it below this first block right here, and then we're going to actually put some redstone on the second block. So we'll just use this one on this second block right here. And oh, well, that's not the one we want. Oh, I guess actually I was gonna say I only had one in my inventory, but InventoryTweaks has helped us out once again by pulling that down to us. So then we're gonna come down here with our half slabs, and we can put one right there and then one down there and break the one on top, and we're gonna extend it too, and we're gonna put down 2 redstone repeaters that are going to both push into this block right here. And then we're going to take another block. We can take our chiseled stone again, and we can extend it on this side. And I guess I got to hop off there again to do that. So we'll put it, oh gosh, we got to shift click that. So we'll put it one right there, and we'll put another one right there. And what we're going to do here is put the pressure plate on the first one, and we're going to put the armor stand on the next one. And what we have to do now is surround this so it doesn't get pushed off with a bunch of furnaces for us, or, you know, really anything that does not get moved. So surround it with furnaces right here, like so, and get it on this side too. And there we go. So the whole idea is to keep this thing encased, and that's so phenomenal that that little guy hopped in there. On top of our pressure plate, we can kill him. I don't want to break stuff. Okay, so we can kill him so that this doesn't actually continue happening. But now what happens is this should get pushed over. Whenever the slime blocks come along, it'll get pushed onto there, and it'll allow us to stop different pistons here. And I guess the same would be for, you know, any other layer that you want to do. So the next thing we need to do is make a setup so that this will actually get pushed off when everything is said and done. So we're going to be using a regular piston for that, unlike all the other sticky pistons that we've been using for the rest of this. So that's going to go right here. And the next thing we need to do is actually set up the redstone for this. So we're going to be using a hopper timer. Now I've got a lot of these hoppers for actually collecting drops, but we're going to need 2 of them for the hopper timer. And we're going to be setting them up near this redstone torch right here. And all we're going to have to do is go down and break this other one and reset it so it's going into its other one facing at it. So that one's good. That one's good now. So we've got those 2 going in there. And if we were to put something in here, the redstone torch will prevent it from actually going over. It'll lock the hopper. And the next thing we need to do is just set up a comparator. And that's going to be going on the second one. And it's going to be going right in here. So we can break this block right here. And I'll grab this furnace down here so it doesn't go to waste. And all we have to do is put the comparator right in here, and we should be good. So we'll throw that down right there. And what we can do now is allow this to go. We can flick this on and watch how it functions. So it's going to take a little bit for it to come back here, but we should be able to see this whole thing function. Not a great view, I guess, but we'll see that get pushed over. And then it goes back, and once it's done, that gets pushed off of it, and then it goes back down to this side, and when it gets down there, it should bounce back. And all this is going to do is make sure these are synchronized, so it sweeps all the way to one side, and then it sweeps all the way back. So it's a pretty interesting contraption. I prefer to keep all this on the far away side. You can really decide whenever we end up building the collection point if you want these to be on the same side, but it does get kind of big, especially if you are making a multi-layered setup. So I would advise you just to keep that in mind before you actually start building this. As you can see, it gets kind of clunky, and one of the main reasons that I kept cutting is because it kind of starts getting a little busy going on in here, so I have to make sure everything's going to be okay with everything else that's in there. But we can turn this off if we don't want to continuously watch it keep running. It is kind of fun to watch it keep running though. Okay guys, so I think this is the last time we're going to cut. So what I just did off camera was essentially I filled in the railings with all the furnaces that I had. Now I just did this because it's kind of boring to do on camera, but essentially you're just going to want to continue the railings around the edge, except you can leave an opening there if you want to see what's going on in the center, or you could fill it in. Just if you're going to fill it in, make sure you fill it in with something that can't be moved by the slime blocks, because if it can be moved, your whole thing is going to get screwed up. Keep in mind that slime blocks can move pretty much anything, so if you start half slabbing stuff around here, you got to make sure they're not going to touch the slime blocks or even get close to them, because as you might not know, if you have a half slab like on the block right here, even though it's not directly touching, it still counts and it'll still get moved. So right now this actually should be good. Everything that's in here will be stuck in here. And so what we're going to do is make our little killing chamber. So we're going to be going down from one of these sides. I'll pick the side with the redstone because I eventually want to make this look kind of nice on the other side, since that's where we're going to be coming in or possibly teleporting to once we get the nice Draconic Evolution teleportation option. But we're going to break all of these blocks right here, and we're going to allow them to fall down. Now, obviously, it really doesn't matter which side you do it on. They'll eventually get pushed to either side. So it's really up to you, but we're going to go down 20 blocks, and the way I guess I can measure that is by just taking some of this cobblestone, and we're at 64 right now, so we want to go down 20 blocks from this floor. So I think we'll do 1, and then I got to clear out this whole area down here. I guess it's relatively fast when you've got this pick, but I want to make sure that we don't fall into lava. That's the biggest thing that's freaking me out right now. I could probably turn on hover mode and we'd have no issue, but I really would prefer to avoid that if at all possible. And also I don't want to hit a pigman while we're down here, so let's break these. I don't know how close we are right now. I guess we're at Y52, so no. Okay, we can fly, so it's no issue. No. Again with that. Okay. So we'll continue breaking these. It's a little bit annoying having to do this. I probably should have blown up an area for us to come down into for this, because it is a relatively long drop. But the whole purpose of dropping them this distance is to make sure that we can eventually, when we set up a killing mechanism, and I don't think we're going to do that today, but we're going to want to crush and kill all the things that are not wither skeletons, because those really are important to us. We only need to kill the wither skeletons with the looting sword because we want their skulls. So that's still not going to be far enough. We need a little bit more. And we get some nether quartz. I actually don't even have inventory room to pick that up. You guys are probably going to cringe that I'm not even going to care enough to pick this up, which is why I'm going to make a point of going in and picking it up, because I know I'll get the comments. They'll be like, Rage, you just wasted that. The nether rack. Or not the nether rack, the nether quartz. What am I saying? Okay, so we came down 1 block, which put us at 63. And then we'll go 2, 3, 4. And I should put on hover. 5. Oh, no, that's not hover. Which one was the button? I don't even remember which. Oh, there we go. V was the button for hover. Okay, so we were at 63, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll keep on hover. 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so we can turn hover off, and we actually want this to still be on. We don't want to fall ever and not have our jetpack to back us up. We can break all these blocks coming over, and this is where everything should fall to. Now, it's a little bit crowded down here. I'll eventually clear a bunch of this off camera, because there's really no reason to not have a big open space for us to kill them in and, you know, store all the stuff in and possibly kill the wither in. It really comes down to a matter of opinion on how we want to do that. But I'm going to clear up this area going down here, I guess. And we'll end up having a nice area for them to fall in. So we want it to go down here and bring it down. And we're going to fall in a second once we break through a certain layer of that. Okay. So there we go. We got that side cleaned up, and we can just make a nice little floor down here. Since this is the level that we're going to want to bring them down to eventually. Not going to do anything fancy down here today. I know it's a little dark down here too, but clear this up and put that there. We don't need that, and we can run this all the way up to this top portion up here to make it look nice. I guess the best way to do this would be to go like so. Oh, I'm running into something. Wait, what? What am I running into? It still thinks it's there. I don't really know what block that could be. But we'll bring this up, right up to here. And it should already be like that on the other side going down. Okay, so that is going to be our killing chamber. And now, what I might do is I might AFK here until we see a couple guys spawn, just so that I can verify that this works, show you guys that it works. And they're going to fall down here. And what I'll do is, because I really don't feel like dealing with stuff right now, I'll probably just not actually come down here to show you. I'll just look from up here. Clearly something is still supposed to be there. And we're just getting, oh my gosh, we're just getting glitched out on it. But yeah, I'll pop back really quick once some things spawn here, and I'll show you guys how it's working. Okay guys, so it's been a little bit. We've gotten some spawns in there. I've gotten attacked by a couple blaze while waiting. So we're going to eat just to make sure that if these guys do end up flying out and attacking me while they're getting pushed along, at least the blaze could do that it actually does not become too much of an issue. Not that I think it would, but what we're going to do is we're going to flip this on now, and we're going to watch it go. So it's going to start pushing along. That one's going to get stuck there. The other side should end up getting pushed along. There it comes. The guys get pushed down. It's going to start going back. Obviously, that blaze is going to come over and greet me because I'm just that lucky. But it should catch everything in here. These should end up getting brought back. As you can see, it kind of like flips them over. Not really great with the blaze. I could put a ceiling on it, and that would make it a little bit better. But we do have a wither skeleton there, and he is going to get pushed down. I did get shot by a skeleton. Even that guy still going, still kicking. But we can flick this off. And if we take a look, these guys should be alive down here. Oh, okay, so these are the blocks that I was getting stuck on. And where is that little guy? Where's that blaze trying to kill me? I assume it's this one. There were 2 that were set free over here after they got out of that. Oh, there were more than that. There were multiple. That's great. Okay, well, that block is on fire. That's phenomenal. Okay, so we'll have to figure out a way to deal with those guys a little bit better. Clear out a lot more area in here, make the spawns a lot better. It's going to be a lot of off-camera work, but for now, it should help if I AFK here a fair bit and get it all set up. And if we really wanted to, we could come down here and see what this guy has for us. Oh no, because when he shoots me, it like drops me down. Let's turn this on and let's go. Did we get ahead to end the video? Nope, we did not. Oh my gosh, dude, this guy can't. There we go. We have defeated him. We'll leave the zombie pigmen down there because I really don't feel like fighting them. And we can pop back on up here. The spawn rate's really not that great because obviously there's everything else in here that we have to deal with spawning. So eventually I'll probably get a ton of TNT and come in and blow this stuff up. Or I could bring like the digital, I don't know if you can bring the digital miner in here and just like mine netherrack, which would be really funny actually if you could do that. And just mine away all the netherrack. That'd be interesting. Now that I've got all this power to see if I could do that. But that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm sorry the video was so choppy, but honestly, the answers were a couple different things. Living in a dorm, it's not easy when people keep walking into my room. And on top of that, I was confused with some of the stuff for setting this up. I take no credit for knowing how to actually set this up. I understand how it works, but I could never have come up with this on my own, especially this redstone stuff over here. So that's a little bit why I kept cutting to actually look at how it was supposed to be and make sure I wasn't giving you guys incorrect info. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you found it entertaining or interesting in any way, please feel free to give it a like, and I would urge you guys to go and check out the original video, which will be linked in the description. Also, if you didn't see in the end of my Botania video, I am going to be going on Thanksgiving break. I hopefully will have one video. It's only a week long, but I don't have my desktop with me to record, so hopefully I will have one video going up while I'm on break. So it'll probably be like 5 days in between videos, but not too long compared to what my usual break is. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on that. Also, if I'm a little bit slow replying to comments, that is why. I will be with my family for the first time in a decent chunk of time since I'm at school. So, yeah, that's what's going on with my life. But I really hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. You know, spend it with family and friends. Take a break if you're at college like me or just getting stressed during school. You know, relax, all that good stuff. Relax like I will be. And I will talk to you guys later.